Hey guys, it's Mrs. Adams here. I am doing a screencast for those of you who can't make it to class today, and those of you who are I'm doing your online work today. So welcome to science class. This is a slideshow that we're going to go through a little bit, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be working on. All right, so first things first, what you need to do is take attendance. So take a minute to click on the student portal login and take attendance. Our essential questions for this unit 2, is how can models of matter help us understand the resources we use? Lesson objective today is generating questions based on your analysis of pictures, images of the changing RLC. So today, this lesson is for today and tomorrow. If you are in first or second hour science, follow along here today. If it's a Tuesday day for you, you're going to do the world population activity at the end of this slide. Tomorrow, you're going to just flip-flop. So those of you who are with me tomorrow, 7th hour, then we're going to work on this, the next slides, and you're going to do the world population activity today. Norms and expectations for online learning. You're going to make sure that other people in your house know that your camera is on and your microphone is on. That way we don't do any slip-ups with language and behavior. We'll be careful about what is showing in our cameras. You're going to ask an adult before showing other people or places your house. Wear school-appropriate clothing. Use school-appropriate language when talking and writing. And use kind words with our teachers and classmates. Be patient as we learn together. This is kind of a new territory for all of us. So remote classroom procedures, same as in-class procedures. You're going to respond in the chat if you have a question. Actively listen and watch to learn. Conversations should be focused on the lesson. Okay. Have your class materials ready, your computer up. Google Classroom needs to be up and ready. Find a quiet spot to learn. I know sometimes this is hard, but do your best. Have your mouse, for those of you who have wireless ones, chargers, headphones with you during live lessons. That's a good idea. Mouse is a good idea. Responsible, be on time to class. Turn off all your microphones, and then check your email for important information. All right. So we're going to open with this. I'm going to give you a minute to write in your chat. What are 3 things that you think of when you hear the word matter? Okay, so type your responses in the chat. Okay. While you are doing that, period 1 and 2, you're going to go to Google Classroom and you're going to find the kickoff task presentation, and that's where we're going to go next. Period 7, you're going to continue on to this, with this, I said email, that's not what I meant. To the next activity is in the next slide. So your online day, you're going to open the World Population and Me link, respond to the questions. Once you're finished, you're finished. So for those of you who are online today, this is the link that I'm referring to. You are going to click this activity and answer the questions that go with it. It's actually pretty interesting. It won't take you very long. So you're going to go do your populations here. You're going to just start with let's go. All right. So those of you who are online today, 7th hour today is going to do this. 1st and 2nd hour are going to do this tomorrow. All right. The next thing you're going to do is in your Google Classroom. We're going to talk about some things that are in there. All right. So quarter 2 assignments. Quarter 2 assignments, you have your assessments and rubrics. This is basically what we're grading this quarter, what you must turn in. Everything is a should do, but these are must do's. This is your liftoff task activities. That's what we're doing today. You'll see that you have a worksheet to complete as well as a concept map right here. So your Matter Matters is what we are clicking on next. Okay. So in the Matter Matters, you're going to have this presentation. So again, today, first and second hour are doing this with me. Seventh hour should have been, you're not with me right now, you're doing the world populations. Unit 2, there are 4 tasks. Each task has 5 E's of science and of reflection. The 5 E's of science are always in the same order: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Your evaluate will always be completed in your project organizer. Remember that your unit project organizer will be used for the whole unit. Our essential question is, how can models of matter help us understand the resources we use? Our academic vocabulary for this lesson is freshwater, reservoir, natural resources, and matter. So what you're going to do is, this is the Aral Sea. This is a shrinking sea. It is situated in the Central Asia between Kazakhstan and North Uzbekistan, uh, and was once the 4th largest lake in the world. Thanks to decades of water diversion for irrigation and a recent drought, much of the freshwater reservoir is now completely dry. All right. Okay, so if you wanted to know more, there is what questions would you ask? So there's another video. I think it might be. So while you're watching the video, think about what questions you would have about the lake.
I didn't want to build 3D robots.
Okay. So that is a lot of really good information about the RLC and why it looks the way it looks. So a lot of human pollution going on there, a lot of ethical issues that we are going to talk about later on in this quarter. So keep this story in mind when we go forward into the next part of the unit. So the first thing we're going to do today in your liftoff task, your student guide that is in your Google Classroom, you're going to respond to the following question. If you wanted to know what is happening in the Aral Sea, what questions would you ask? And record those questions in your worksheet. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we learned a lot about what's going on in there. So what questions do you have besides that? Okay. And then so this is going to take you to part B, which is take those questions that you just asked, and we're going to put them in your concept map. So I have given you a concept map in your Google Classroom. So where the circles are, that's where your questions are going to be. And then when we find the answers to those questions, then the squares are going to be attached to those. So if that video answered any of the questions that you have, then you can put those answers in the squares. If any of your questions are connected in any way, then you're going to put those near each other with a line in between. Okay, this is an example of a concept map. Finally, today we're going to talk about the Culminating Project. So what you're going to do as a group, you're going to make a video for an online magazine that explains a way to make more water more available to a community with little fresh water. Your individual part of that is a digital article with more science background and details on your group's solution. If you click on the link, there's a link here. So the group project, this is an example of an article that has a video embedded. So this is an example of pictures and of videos. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, so that has to do with your project. Okay. In the individual project, this is another example of a digital article. So this is the magazine Discover. And these are digital articles that go with various things. So this is kind of a little example of what we're looking for, okay? And you will be developing a solution to make water more available to people in a certain area while also considering the strain on the environment. So now that you have seen an example of a water reservoir changing over time, think about why this might matter. Why is this important? Use your own knowledge to identify some ways that humans use natural resources of water, and then think about, put that in your project organizer. Okay? Then your reflection task is also going to go in your liftoff task. So you're going to complete the questions at the end of your student guide to reflect on what you've learned in the task today. Okay. So again, remember, go ahead and you should do these assignments, these things. It's going to help you start thinking about our final project, start thinking about some ethics. What happened in the Aral Sea is very unethical, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. All right, so that is the assignment for today. I'm going to exit out of here. So you should, in your Google Classroom, go to your liftoff task and your concept map. I've given you your own copy, so you don't have to worry about making a copy. And you're just going to fill this out as you go. All right. Also in Classroom is your concept map. You're going to fill that out as well. And then your project organizer is here with your culminating project information. All right. If you have any questions, send me an email or chat me up on office hours. All right. Thank you.